Привіт. I'm Chuck Olenek, a Ukrainian-American baptized with the name Yaroslav. That's also the name I use in the Society for Creative Anachronism, where I'm known as Yaroslav the Persistent, or Yari. I've been doing research on Slavic stuff for years and Eastern European stuff for years, in part because I grew up in a Ukrainian household and I grew up speaking the language, which has since degenerated. And I based my persona on, the part of the world that my family came from. Because that obviously pleased my family, it pleased me too. And been gathering all this research and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I have been creating these videos, hoping that when I put them up on my YouTube channel, people in the society might spot them, and if they hadn't really developed a persona yet, might consider going Eastern or going Slavic. I also am doing this in part because I like the idea of people sitting around camp at a war or perhaps at a feast telling stories that were period. So, since it's October, that spooky time of year, and since this channel is about Slavic and Eastern European mythology and folklore, I didn't want to focus exclusively on Ukraine and Russia, and I've been trying to hit other areas in Eastern Europe and other groups. And anytime I find something which goes bump in the night, I want to go explore it and find one more thing to cause nightmares. That's going to bring us to the Drekavac. Drekavac, literally the screamer or the screecher, is known by a bunch of different names throughout Southern Europe or Southern Slavic areas. Drekalo, Drekavac, Drekavac, Zrikavac, and it's a mythical creature. The name is derived from the word drechati, to screech. I know there's a similar word in Ukrainian, krichati, to scream or to screech. Okay, so you got similar names all throughout the region, with the variations in the different languages. You don't get consistent descriptions or even causes of what a Drekavac is. Okay. It was originally thought to have come from the souls of sinful men. Okay, that's a pretty standard one. Or from children who died unbaptized, because dying while not being baptized seems to be the cause of a lot of these things that go bump in the night, like Urusalke and Navke and that sort of thing. And so that's why there was always a big rush. Get the child baptized within the first 40 days. Otherwise, they turn into something bad. And it was popularly believed that these creatures were only visible at night because, of course, that makes them a hell of a lot scarier. Especially during, and this was new to me, the 12 days of Christmas that Serbs and Croatians called these the unbaptized days. Which means, just giving it some thought, maybe in the pre-Christian era it might have had to do with the really super long nights around the winter solstice. And also they were supposed to have been active in early spring, when a lot of other demons and mythical creatures were believed to be active. Maybe that was also because of the activity of the spring thaw. I'm speculating here. Okay? When assuming the form of a child, it predicts someone's death. When it's in an animal form, it's going to predict disease that will be affecting animals. The Drekavac is believed to avoid dogs and to avoid bright light. Well, yeah, that goes with the description of seeing it at night. Also, it's believed that if the shadow of a Drekavac falls upon somebody, that person's going to turn sick and die. Okay, there's similar myths about shadows of evil creatures falling on people. So the legend says in some parts of rural Serbia at least, that this creature would come out at night, jump on the back of some unsuspecting lone passerby, and drive them to run, riding them as if they're riding on, a horse, and to ride them the entire night, laughing and screaming maniacally. So, okay, there goes the screeching part. And the creature would hurt them if they didn't comply. In the morning, the victim would appear exhausted and bruised and covered in scratches. Okay, you know what? That still doesn't give us a description of what a Drekavac looks like. In some folk tales, it's depicted as an undead man who emerges from his grave by night to haunt the living. Okay, Drekavac, vampire. Okay, that's similar enough. In others, the Drekavac is portrayed as an unbaptized child which rises from its grave at night to haunt its parents, and also sometimes be heard entreating passerbys or people passing cemeteries to please baptize it and thus end its misery. And that reminded me of the Navka in eastern Serbia. It's been depicted in the form of a humanoid canine creature that walks on its hind legs. And then there's a whole bunch of very specific regional descriptions. The form of ghosts of soldiers that wander around during nighttime scaring people, or a vampire-like undead man, okay, wandering around scaring people. Long-legged, long-necked creature with a cat-like head. There's a good one. A one-legged humanoid creature with glowing eyes that wanders around during nighttime and scares people. Okay. An apparition that can be seen in the form of a dappled foal, a dog, a cat, or a bird. And it's probably like elongated, got a spindle-thin body, and a disproportionately large head. This creature can't fly. Okay, that's a good sign. And again, this one might be the soul of a dead child. And there's a modern description, because of course there's modern descriptions, because there have been reported sightings like in 1992 of a canine creature similar to a dog or some kind of bird. Just one more thing to, go bump in the night and cause nightmares. So if you're camping out in November, or you hear something go bump, maybe it's a Drekavac. Until next time, do pobacenia.